Alrighty, guys. If you are new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. And if you are not familiar, I make posts on this subreddit. It's called DF Sports with one S. So DF Sports. I make posts here for NBA. I make posts here for NFL. Every day. So yeah, if you ever want to come over here, ask me questions about the slate, I will always answer it. We have amazing people in the group that talk strategy as well. So good place to be. A lot of very smart people here. So yeah, check that out. And if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Reddit through Messenger, or you can get a hold of me on Twitter at Tori Langley 1992. So let's just go over recapping, what's been going on for the last week for me. First off, we'll go over some showdown lineups. Just been absolutely crushing NFL of late. I bubbled showdown there. Yeah, bubbled showdown here. This was main slate. So yeah, let's do it. So the main slate last week was a really good day for me. Didn't full double up in everything, but doubled up in most stuff. I went Geno, Jeff Wilson, Rashad White, DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Treylon Burks, Hayden Hurst, Devontae Adams in cash games. Couldn't have asked for a better outcome. With who was it that Devontae Adams getting there for us in the fourth quarter. But yeah, I had Garrett Wilson over Treylon Burks here. I swapped to Treylon Burks last minute. That was definitely a mistake, but it's been phenomenal. The showdown went really, really well as well. I went huge on the showdown. I put like $250, $300 on the showdown in cash games. Lineup absolutely smashed. I went Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Ramondre Stevenson, Tyler Bass, Nick Folk, Jonnu Smith. The last Nick Folk field goal at the end of the game put me into the cash. That was absolutely beautiful. It was such a beaut, man. Oh man, it was a beaut. So you love to see that, but yeah, guys, it's been. I couldn't ask for better outcomes to what's been going on of late. So as you guys can see here, it's just been really, really good, as you can tell. So, yeah, if you don't know who I am, like I said, my name is Shook. I have been profitable on 10 or 11 NFL main slates. I've only lost money on one of them. And I think I'm profitable on pretty much most of the showdown slates as well. But if you don't know, I am mainly a cash grinder. So we'll go over cash games first. And then we will go over GPPs, some stacks I like, some GPP plays that I like, but we're not going to go over the slate one by one by one by one. No, that's not what we do. We're just going to go over cash games. We're going to go over some GPP plays that I like, and then I'm going to go over my favorite stacks for the week. All right, cash games. There are a few quarterbacks that you can consider for cash games, but I will tell you my favorite two. So, right now, my favorite two quarterbacks for cash games are going to be Joe Burrow at 6.9K and Trevor Lawrence at 5.9K. These two are just projecting as the top point per dollar values on the slate, and they are both in very, very good game environments, both high total games. Trevor Lawrence at 5.9K has been extremely, extremely efficient the past 3 weeks. Kirk, obviously, a very reliable target. I think you are getting value there. I think Trevor Lawrence is a good cash game play. I think Joe Burrow right now is my favorite cash game play on the week. He's going to throw the ball 40 plus times. I'm expecting Cincinnati to be down in this game, so that just boosts his floor and his ceiling. I think they're going to have to throw the ball a lot here. So, with how efficient he's been, except for last week, 70% completion percentage, 71. As long as he's above that 70% range, his floor is going to be extremely high. We know he has that touchdown upside, multiple touchdown upside with his extremely talented wide receivers in Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I can't include Tyler Boyd, but we can include Jamar Chase, obviously. But yeah, those are my two favorite point per dollar cash quarterbacks. Right now, I am leaning playing Burrow. leaning going Burrow, but that doesn't mean I'm completely off Trevor Lawrence. Other cash game quarterbacks that I think you can definitely consider. I think you definitely can consider Jalen Hurts. The only thing is Tennessee wants to beat you through the air. It's hard to run on Tennessee. So I think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles probably are going to want to throw the ball in this game with how bad Tennessee has been defending the pass. So that's a little bit interesting, but I think you can definitely consider Hurts. I think you can definitely consider Justin Fields too. They're not going to throw the ball a ton because he doesn't have receivers to throw to, but when you're getting like 15, 13, 18, 14, 12, double digit rushing attempts over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the past 6 weeks, I mean, obviously his floor is there. So you can definitely consider those guys, but right now, Joe Burrow for me, point per dollar, I think might be my favorite cash game quarterback on the slate. If you're going to pay down, you could definitely consider Jared Goff. I think you can, but I think it's pretty fringe, personally. Running back. So I think the clear running back play on the slate, personally for me, is probably going to be Austin Eckler at 8.5K. He's basically just look at his pass game usage. It's absolutely insane. One of the higher totals on the slate as well. The Chargers can't stop anyone, so I absolutely love Eckler this week. I find it hard to get away from him in cash games, so love Eckler. Going down a little bit further, I think you can definitely consider Nick Chubb in cash games, going up against the worst run D in the league. I don't mind that. Josh Jacobs, assuming he plays, I think is a very good cash game play as well. Good spot there. Chargers, shootout potential, very good spot for Jacobs. Cook is definitely into consideration. Kenneth Walker is definitely into consideration, but I prefer the other running backs. ETN Jr. is definitely a very strong cash game play. I wish they would just throw him the ball more. I really do. But I really want to stream players against Detroit. It's been a fantasy carnival all season long, so I do like Travis Etienne Jr. for cash games a lot this week. Going down a little bit further, if Joe Mixon is out, I think P. Ryan against Kansas City is a very strong cash game play into consideration for me. Going down a little bit further, Michael Carter is doubtful. So what that does is that brings a interesting running back here for the New York Jets, and that is going to be Bam Bam. Where is the Jets? That is going to be Bam Bam. Where's Bam Bam? Bam Bam. Zonovan Knight. 14 attempts, 69 yards. He will be involved in the passing game. When Mike White is involved at quarterback, he likes to throw a lot of dump offs, so that really only helps Knight as well. I think people are concerned with James Robinson, but I don't think he's going to have a big role here. I think it's just going to be mainly Knight. You saw Ty Johnson get involved, but yeah, we'll have to monitor the situation with James Robinson. So was notice seen the last of Robinson. When commit to Robinson playing Sunday. We'll have to monitor this. Knight could be a potential very strong cash game play as well. So that is my running back pool that I'm considering as of now. My wide receiver pool for cash games that I'm considering. If I'm going to spend up for anyone, it's going to be Devontae Adams at 8.7K. Love that environment for him. This game just has intense shootout potential. High floor, obviously going to get targeted a ton. If I'm paying up for anyone, it's going to be Adams. The one guy you do not fade in cash games tomorrow is going to be the Sun God, the Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Sun God. Another game that just looks so good for DFS. His usage right now is just absolutely elite. What is that, 30 targets the past 3 weeks. His price has barely moved. He should be up with the top guys, in my opinion, with his usage. So yeah, you don't fade Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and cash. Just play him, call it a day. Keenan Allen is fringe, I think, this week, but fine. Christian Kirk is going to get a ton of ownership, and for a good reason. Mainly because, once again, his target market share is elite. I believe Trevor Lawrence, let's go to Jacksonville, has been, very, very efficient with, absolutely efficient at the helm there. And just a beautiful, beautiful game environment here against Detroit. So Kirk's getting steamed, and for good reason. I really like Kirk. Going down a little bit further, I don't think I'm going to get to Lockett this week. Going down, Garrett Wilson, I think is a very strong play. We've been targeting wide receivers against the Vikings all season long. I don't understand why that would change now with his new role as well. He's gotten that 8 targets last week, 2 touchdowns. Now, those 2 touchdowns, one of them was definitely kind of pretty lucky with the defender falling down, but I mean, yeah, phenomenal spot here for Garrett Wilson. I think Mike White only helps him as well. High floor, high ceiling. Yeah, Wilson's going to be another very popular play that I really like for cash games. Going down a little bit further. So there are punts here. Donovan Peoples-Jones at 4.9K. Let's go over to Cleveland. I think is in consideration. I don't love it, but I think he's in consideration for value. I wouldn't totally keep him out of your cash game player pool. Going down a little bit further, I'm not into Burks this week. Not into Hollins. I think Hollins is fine, but I'm not into him. I'd probably prefer like Nico Collins at 4.2K with Brandon Cooks being out. Going up against Cleveland, I think that is pretty good. Going down a little bit further, not going to go to Carter. Where are they? Where's Zay Jones? Zay Jones at 4.9K. I think he's going to get some ownership. He's had a very secure role of late. Picking between him and Kirk, I think will be the difference maker, in my opinion. So Zay Jones, Nico Collins. Who am I missing as a value play for cash? I think Claypool is fine for cash games. I think that's it for wide receiver. Yeah, I think that's my wide receiver pool that I'm deciding on between cash games. Let's go to tight end. So I think this week it's clearly Harrison Bryant. No Njoku. I expect a very good role for him here. It's up against Houston. I think clearly you just play Bryant and you call it a day. I think like a really good place to start for cash games is like maybe going Harrison Bryant, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then like pick a running back. Let's just throw Eckler in there, and then like going from there. I think that's a very, very strong point. Maybe throwing in one of those Jacksonville wide receivers. I think that's a great place to start. And if you're playing a defense, right now I prefer the Titans up against Philadelphia. And then maybe the Steelers up against Atlanta. But I would have to look at ownership. But right now, I'm probably going to punt with the Titans. But that's cash games for you guys. Now, let's go over some stacks that I like. Give me 1 second. I had to take a sip of orange juice. All right, let's do it. So, stacks that I like. This is in no particular order. So, obviously, a very popular stack is going to be Trevor Lawrence doubles. I mean, for good reason. One of the highest totals on the slate. I think Travis Etienne is picking up ownership, so this could be a good way to get off some of that chalk. But Kirk is going to get a lot of ownership too. But very condensed target market share. The ball's going to Kirk. The ball's going to Zay Jones. That's it. That's basically it. Yeah, basically it. So very condensed market share. Very easily to stack this game with the pricing. Very easy to bring it back with another chalk play. A very good play in Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is like the nut game environment. So this stack is going to be extremely popular, but for good reason. But I really like it. Even in GPPs, I'm perfectly fine eating that chalk. If you want to go a different route and go Jared Goff doubles, I definitely don't hate that either. You could go. I wouldn't go to the running backs. You could go Khalif Raymond, and then bring it back with like a Kirk, Zay Jones. I think that's definitely an interesting way to get different in GPPs with like the quarterback situation. Going a little bit further, another stack that I like quite a bit is going to be Philadelphia. They are going completely underowned, in my opinion. Nobody is going to be playing Philadelphia stacks against a terrible pass defense in Tennessee. Nobody's playing Devontae Smith. I think that's a mistake. Quez Watkins has seen an increased role in snaps of late. They look to him downfield, so the ceiling is extremely high for them. High for him. I think Philadelphia stacks make for very good GPP plays this week. Love the spot here against Tennessee. I wouldn't go to any of the tight ends. They're doing like a tight end by committee there. Going down a little bit further, trying to see if I missed anything. Let's keep going. So, obviously, another stack that is going to be popular is going to be Joe Burrow doubles, but I mean for good reason. He's much cheaper than Patrick Mahomes. You get a piece of this game. Jamar Chase, if he plays, is sub 10% owned. I believe sub 8% owned. The questionable tag is only going to keep his ownership down as well. I really like getting to this double, and I really like Jamar Chase, especially at that ownership. I think T. Higgins is very good as well. I think T. Higgins with Jamar Chase in, if he plays, only helps him, because when T. Higgins is by himself, he'll get doubled. When Jamar Chase is in, Jamar Chase is going to get that double coverage, and T. Higgins is going to be one-on-one. So I think that even helps T. Higgins, to be honest, if Jamar Chase is in. But you can do a number of things with this double, but this would be the pool that I would include. You could throw some Boyd in there, but I don't really love it. But that would be the pool that I include. Love getting to a piece of this game, and you get the cheaper side with Joe Burrow. But that means with everyone going Joe Burrow, a really good GPP stack is going to be Patrick Mahomes. Now, it's extremely, extremely expensive, which is why nobody's going to be playing it. Let's see what you get left with if you do that. But it's extremely, extremely doable to do this, and I don't think enough people are doing it. So I think that's an interesting way to get different as well in GPPs, is just going to the Patrick Mahomes side of things. And then another stack that I really like that I was all over last week that absolutely smashed was Justin Herbert doubles. This game, one of the higher total games of the slate. The Raiders can't stop anything. I would include Austin Eckler in these doubles. I think that definitely makes sense with his role in the passing game. So who I would include with Justin Herbert doubles is going to be Herbert, Eckler, Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, DeAndre Carter. I played DeAndre Carter last week at 0.5% ownership. That worked out huge. But these are the things that I would include with my Justin Herbert stacks. Really, really like those, and I don't mind Derek Carr stacks either. I don't hate it, but I prefer getting to the Herbert side of things. Tough spot here for Miami, but Miami doubles are definitely in play every week. And then I think that's it, guys. I think those are my main favorite stacks to target this week. Trying to figure out. I mean, I guess we'll have a puke stack. I don't even know if it's considered a puke stack, but Mike White, phenomenal spot here against the terrible, terrible secondary of the Vikings. I probably wouldn't include Knight with Mike White, but Garrett Wilson going to be extremely popular. I think you can include Conklin. I think you can include Elijah Moore. Caught a touchdown last week, I do believe. What did Corey Davis finish with? 1-3. But mainly Garrett Wilson here. Garrett Wilson's going to be the alpha. And then obviously with the cheap plays, you're just bringing it back with Justin Jefferson, and you're calling it a day, who's going under-owned as well. So I think those are my favorite stacks of the week. Right now, some GPP plays that I like. I do like Christian McCaffrey for GPPs. Now, let's go to San Francisco. Now, Deebo Samuel's questionable. Elijah Mitchell is out. I believe Mason will be the backup running back now. Now, I don't think they're going to run McCaffrey out there for 25 to 30 touches. But I think if Deebo's out and with Elijah Mitchell out, who had a role of 10 touches a game, I think that definitely helps Christian McCaffrey. And we know he has such a high ceiling, and he's just not being played on this slate. So I think Christian McCaffrey is a very good GPP play this week. I think Saquon Barkley is a fine GPP play too. Everyone's scared of the usage of the past 2 weeks, but I'm not scared at all. So I do like Barkley for GPPs. I have to monitor the Chubb ownership. If Chubb's going to be low owned, then fire up all the Chubb. Would absolutely love him. Cook is fine. I'm trying to target low owned plays here. And then if no one's going to play P. Ryan, if Mixon is out, I will be all over that as well. I think that's it for running back. 4 wide receiver. Same thing. JJ, obviously, it's a tough matchup. The Jets have been very, very good this year. But Justin Jefferson is matchup proof. AJ Brown, I really like. Nobody's going to play him against that terrible secondary. I'm going down a little bit further. This is GPP only, guys, that I'm talking about here. Devontae Smith, same thing I said about AJ Brown. I think looks great. If you want to get off that Garrett Wilson chalk and go to Allen Lazard at the same price, I definitely wouldn't hate you for it. And then I think that's it, man. Everyone that looks good is getting ownership, and for good reason. I don't hate Carter at 3.9K. I don't hate that. If you want to go to like an Elijah Moore over Garrett Wilson and just hope Elijah Moore just eats up, catches all the touchdown, I wouldn't hate you for that either. So yeah, guys, I think that's it. I hope you guys had a good day, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.